While the World Cup draw has been kind to England in footballing terms, the travel logistics are rather trickier. All three of England's games avoid the big two transport hubs of Moscow and St. Petersburg, and all are a flight away from the England training camp near St. Petersburg. Fans planning to watch the games will need to take a lot of flights or long train journeys. Russian overnight trains are comfortable, so they may be a good option for those wanting to save on accommodation. The England team may have climatic factors to take into account as well. Kaliningrad on the Baltic can be breezy and mild even in summer, while the southern city of Volgograd can get swelteringly hot. England's opening game will be played in Volgograd, the southern Russian city formerly known as Stalingrad. The city is dominated by a vast monument to Mother Russia and permeated with history from the battle that devastated the city but turned the tide of the Second World War. Rebuilt after the war, with industrial areas and drab Soviet apartment blocks, it is certainly not one of Russia's prettier cities. But the setting on the Volga River is pleasant in summer, with boat rides, cafes, and temperatures that frequently climb into the 30s. It is likely to be significantly hotter than England's base. The game is a late evening kick-off which should help with the heat. It will be played at a new 45,000-seater stadium in the city, expected to be completed early next year. Most fans will probably fly in from Moscow, though the more adventurous might decide on the train, which takes about 18 hours. England's second game will also take place on the Volga River, several hundred miles upstream from Volgograd. Nizhny is much more convenient to get to from Moscow than the other two games, with regular fast trains covering the distance in a few hours. It also has an airport well served with flights. Nizhny is an attractive, if somewhat shabby city with an atmospheric old Kremlin and a large number of historic buildings. It's one of the oldest cities in Russia and has a population of a little over 1 million. A bustling city with a large number of universities, it should be a welcoming venue for fans, and England will play at a 45,000-seater stadium that, like those in the other two group game cities, is being built for the World Cup. Kaliningrad is a geographical anomaly, an exclave of Russia that is fully surrounded by the EU, namely Poland and Lithuania. The territory was once the German city of Königsberg, the hometown of the philosopher Immanuel Kant, who is buried there, but was seized by the Soviets at the end of the Second World War. It has a bizarre atmosphere. It unsurprisingly feels more European than other parts of Russia, and its residents have long benefited from special liberalist visa programs and are well traveled. But in many ways it also feels very Soviet, with the city center dominated by the cube-shaped House of Soviets and many other communist-era behemoths amid the older Prussian buildings. Because of the location, most people fly in from Moscow, though it is also possible to go overland from Poland or Lithuania.